Picture it, fam. Hoddesdon, early hours, gym door swings open, and Dave King steps into the crisp air, still dripping sweat. Out of the blue, a white transit creeps past way too slow. Passenger hangs out the window, cool as ice, and sprays 26 from the AK. No chat, no build up, just lead. 5 rounds, smash into King chest, arm side. Man hits the tarmac, gone. No warning, no save, just raw street brutality in it. That weren't no accident, blood. That was a message, loud, violent, rooted deep in the legacy of the Essex Boys. Bare old school savagery in it. This wasn't no man just getting caught up. It was surgical, fam. Planned, precise, personal. And when that van sped off, it didn't just leave tire marks. It dragged out a whole web. Betrayal, payback, lies, all of it coming to the surface. Welcome to Ends Unshanked, where we pull the mask off the madness that's ripping through our blocks. We're here for the truth, no filters. If you rate what we're doing, hit that subscribe, drop a like, and back the movement. Cause these ain't just stories, fam. They're real scars on the roads we walk. Drop a comment, let us know what you think. Who's to blame? Who deserved what? Let's open up that convo. Now stick around, cause we're diving straight into the roots of this madness. Back in the 90s, Essex and East London were getting flooded. Pills, coke, the works. The roads were patterned up by 3 names: Tony Tucker, Pat Tate, and Craig Rolfe. They called them the Essex Boys. This was proper organised, blood. And during that era, Dave King, man from Glasgow, he links up with Tucker. Tucker had a little North London supplement spot. Yeah, pushing muscle gear. A man like Dave, he's big, 6'3", built like a fridge, fam. That connection, bodybuilding, violence, street respect, they clicked. Soon, they're doing security together. Big man ting. Working for Nigel Benn. Yes, the ex-WBC boxing champ, bruv. These man were around celeb circles, popping off, enjoying life. Tucker, he's stacking heavy. Club security game in Essex and East London. That's his turf. Bringing in 1.5k a week, easy. Dave King on the doors, controlling what goes in, what goes out. And trust me, you don't move gear in those clubs unless man like Dave says so. He was feared in it. But not long after, King got caught up, banged up. He beat down a man in Stevenage and stuffed him in a car boot. Man ting still got a sentence for that one. While Dave's sitting down in the bin, madness goes off outside. Tucker, Tate and Rolfe, them Essex boys, get found slumped in a Range Rover, parked in some back road in Retenden. Execution style, real horror show. Rolfe got it in the side of his head. Tucker's face, blown off blood. Tate, 1 in the gut, 2 in the dome. That triple murder, that's what the roads now call the Retenden murders. King comes out the pen and links up with the Canning Town firm, heavy hitters, and through that he gets tight with a man named Darren Pearman. Now Pearman, he ain't wired right innit. Proper tapped, used to move with football hooligan sets, violent, unpredictable. Bernard O'Mahony, ex-Essex Boys gangman turned author, said it clear. Darren Pearman was a member of the Canning Town firm, probably the best little outfit in London. If someone stamped on their foot, they got murdered. Darren was a space job. He wore cardigans and had his hair in a side parting. He looked like a boffin, but was a raging lunatic. Mad combo, fam. Pearman and King, trouble. A couple years before the madness, them two were in Charlie Chan's nightclub, and boom, glassing kicks off. One guy gets sliced. Security steps in. The main one, a wrestler turned doorman called Ronnie Fuller. But here's the thing, yeah, Ronnie moved wrong. You don't grab up man like Pearman or King, blood. That's a violation. You grab them, you better be ready to ride in it. Cause these man live off image, off front. Word started circulating in the streets. Pearman ended up dead, stabbed up. And whispers say it all started that night in Charlie Chan's, all from a beef sparked by King, and Fuller was the one who dashed them both from the club. Now here's where it gets twisted. 4 years to the exact day of King's own death, King and Pearman are at Epping Forest Country Club. Pearman spots Fuller, tension rising. Weeks later, they run into him again, outside same club. O'Mahony explained the beef. Sources state that the row stemmed from a dispute Pearman and Fuller were having over a girl, and there had been a previous fight in which Fuller had gotten the better of Pearman. So boom, another dust up. Pearman's crew rolls on Fuller with weapons, even a machete, fam. And guess what? They hid that blade inside a sofa. Wild. During the melee, Fuller flips the script, takes the machete off Payman, ends up stabbing him. Bad. O'Mahony said Payman was stabbed and pronounced dead. By the time he rode up to Whipps Cross Hospital in the back of a cab, his brother also injured. A few months pass and Fuller plus another man get bailed by feds for the Payman case. 29 August 2000, fam. Ronnie Fuller steps onto his own doorstep in Grays, thinking life's calm. A bike glides up, no chat, no warning, and the rider lets the thing bark. O'Mahony said later, a motorbike hitman shot Ronnie twice in the head and 3 times in the chest, killing him outside his home in Grays, Essex, in front of his wife. Brutal blood. Canning Town firm, they kept it hush-hush in it, told the feds they'd sought Payman's revenge themselves. Ronnie thought shifting 20 miles from Loudon would save him. You get me? Not nearly far enough. No one ever faced court for that hit. Word on road, police reckon Payman's old man Christopher bankrolled the payback. Deeper still, turns out Epping Forest Country Club, scene of Payman's beef, sat under David Hunt's name, one of the UK's most feared shot callers, head of the Hunt Syndicate fam. Inside Canning Town, King's vibe caused static. Ex-member John Rowlinson put it straight. He joined up with our firm after coming out of prison, much against my better judgment. Once he did, he systematically began to turn everybody against each other and caused a lot of bad feeling. One man said King was cool if you stayed sweet. Another called him a bully. Simple. Mets intel linked King to the flashy stolen watch hustle. Hence the tag Sangyum Rolex Dave. Flipping pieces to Russian mafia plugs. Connections spread. He even opened Club Renaissance in Stevenage. Proper hotspot for deals. Till council shut it in '02 over unpaid rent. A bar boss summed it. Was a drugs haven. It was full of them. Early 2000s. King's graft ballooned. Hot goods, white powder, big imports. Money stacked high. Enemies even higher. The game bought him a 554k pad in Ardley Hearts, but man moved cautious. Bulletproof vest on deck. June 2002, customs grab a 100k heroin load. 14 kilos gone. King and 4 man them cuffed, all charged. Case against King dropped quick. In court, co-defendant screams he was a grouse, and the whole crew starts side-eyeing Rolex Dave. Detective Inspector Paul Maggie clocked the vibe. This is a tit-for-tat killing. Streets whispered King might be feeding intel, so trust evaporated. King feels the heat, hires a hitman to ice ex-brethren David Sharma. 6'3", 18 stone muscles. King spooks Sharma so bad the man cuts to can, living low under a fake name. Roger Vincent and David Smith, 2 of the seized up crew, hear about the contract and flip it. They promise to smoke King instead. Vincent from Penn Bucks and Smith, Borehamwood Hertz, tap Manchester stick up kid Dean Spencer for the job. Smith straps a Webley .385 in the chamber and rolls to King Stevenage Yard on 22 September 2003. They see King posted with bodyguard Ian Crocker, vest on, eyes peeled. Spencer bottles it, dips plot stools. But the warning's clear. King knows the next move could be his last blood. Outside King's Yard, man like Dean Spencer froze. Whole thing turned sticky. 4-man lineup turned into 1-man bottling it, you get me? Spencer clocked King's size, saw the vest and dipped blood. Gone. Vincent, the one running point, heard what happened and switched. Man started moving erratic, bare rage. Now he had to handle it himself. Spencer later got nicked for some other armed robbery, and once feds got in his face, he sang. Told the man were planning to dead off King. In court, when it all came out, the jury heard this quote from Spencer. When I saw how big he was and wearing that bulletproof vest, I knew my little gun would be useless against him. Straight fear, fam. That shook him to his core. So now Vincent, yeah, he's 33, well known in the ends as a fixer and a proper street debt man. No small fry, he says, nah, I'll handle it. He links up with David Smith, another 33-year-old man, to drive and back him if it kicks off. They knew King weren't no easy target, especially since word got out that he was aware of the hit, always strapped with that bulletproof vest like he was walking war ready. So they went levels, got themselves a Hungarian AKS-47, not no weak ting, full metal jacket rounds, armor piercing bruv, not your regular burner, that's army gear, folding stock, same kind of heat elite paratroopers holding war zones. They weren't playing, the setup all through burners and mobiles. Police later used them same call logs and locations to piece the whole thing together. Timing, movement, intent. But what really cooked them? The evidence. Forensics, CCTV, witness descriptions, phone records. All of that laid out the truth. One by one, things started to fall into place. Vincent and Smith had a whole system, used a stolen white transit van and a stolen Merc as escape rides. Then they started watching King, stalking man, waiting on that perfect moment. It finally came. October 3rd, 2003. King just left the Physical Limits gym on Brewery Road, Hoddesdon, walking with his bodyguard, Ian Crocker. As they stepped outside, boom! White van creeps up, Smith's driving. In that split second, King must have known. Must have felt that this was it, innit? Passenger side, Vincent's hanging out the window with that AK. Finger on the trigger, he lets loose 26 rounds. Full auto, classic drive-by, cold as ice. In 3 seconds, 5 bullets tore through King's chest, arm, leg. That was it, man dropped right there. Gone. The rest of the rounds, shattered his car, sprayed the walls, hit Crocker, even pierced the gym. First time that type of rifle had ever been fired. Full auto in the UK. Man turned a gym car park into a war zone. They drove off, torched the van, burned the Merc, tried to erase the trail, but they messed up. Near the burned van, feds found a plastic glove just left there. Inside it, David Smith's palm print. Sloppy. Next day, over in Great Yarmouth by Braden Water, random couple walk in, see some dodgy geezer, chuck a red sports bag into the water and jet off. They fish it out. Turns out that very gun had links to Hungarian prison authorities. That was confirmation. It was the same weapon that dropped Rolex Dave. They checked the weapon on the lip of the ammo clip, Smith's DNA on a towel in the same bag, Vincent's saliva, boom, locked in. Another towel in the bag had fibers. They matched a jute rug from one of Vincent's known flats. Every piece connected. They checked footage. Smith in a standout hat caught on CCTV at a petrol station in Hoddesdon. Then the big one, phone signals. Calls were traced from Hoddesdon to Cannes minutes after the hit. Vincent and Smith phoned David Sharma, told him straight, job's done, King was gone. Sharma, he dipped, straight vanished. Interpol put him on blast. Still wanted, still ghost. Another man caught up in this. Julian Elphys, 38, from High Wycombe, got convicted for helping Vincent lay low after the hit. When Vincent got picked up, he didn't even keep it quiet. Man bragged to feds, told them he was pulling in 250k a year from clubs across East England. Man drove a 100k Aston Martin DB7, living large, fast life, didn't matter. Feds froze £1.6 million in assets, his house, his London spot, 4 bank accounts, all labelled dirty money, linked to drugs and washing cash. They took everything off Vincent blood. Man's house in Hertfordshire, gone. A £1 million London crib snatched. Even 7.5k spread across 4 accounts, cleaned out. Police weren't playing. And when it came to the sentences, heavy. David Smith got slapped with a minimum of 25 years for the role he played in King's murder. Julian Elphys, 5 years behind bars for helping Vincent disappear after the hits. And Dean Spencer, the one that bottled it last minute, he admitted to conspiracy to murder Rolex Dave and got sentenced later down the line. When the dust settled, Mr. Justice Wilkie dropped it cold. This was a thoroughly planned, ruthless and brutally executed assassination of a criminal by a small team. It was committed in a public street during daytime and involved an automatic firearm. Daylight murder, no remorse, just violence, loud and direct. The judge didn't sugarcoat it. He said it was only by great fortune that no other passers-by were seriously injured or worse. See, the plot was clear-cut. Take out Dave King before he reached Sharma and Vincent and Smith. They weren't even getting paid. Man moved on loyalty alone. Fam, doing it for their brethren Sharma just to keep him breathing. But Rolex Dave King wasn't your average street guy. He was a dangerous figure. Yeah, built like a tank, moved mad in the underworld, known for violence and grime. But not everyone saw him as a villain. His parents, Jimmy and Norma King, saw something different. They remembered their Glasgow-born son as a football-crazy family man. In their words, he was ambitious for himself and for his family and wanted the very best for his children. A devout Muslim, David's bodybuilding formed a great part of his lifestyle. He was proud of his appearance and a perfectionist in all that he did. His death shocked Hoddesdon still. 1 minute he's walking out the gym, next thing dead on the pavement. But truth is, in that world, beef and bullets go hand in hand. It's all part of the game. Even police had to admit it. One source said, whatever someone's past, no one deserves to be killed like this. But it was the way of the world he operated in, and that's how the book closed on Rolex. Dave King, a man who lived fast, played ruthless, and got caught in the same storm he once controlled. This was the rise and violent fall of Dave King. Money, betrayal, reputation, and karma. If this one gripped you, fam, smash that subscribe, hit the bell, and drop a like. That's how we keep digging deep, bringing you real stories from the dark heart of organized crime. Let us know in the comments, was this man taken out over loyalty? Or did the roads just cash in a debt long overdue? Stay locked in, more madness coming soon.